This study actually showed that faces ranked as less attractive scored way higher in attractiveness when the bottom half of the face was masked. The bottom half of the face is the part of the face that's most affected by fat and puffiness. Studies have shown time and time again that levels of facial adiposity, which is face fat, is highly linked with attractiveness as well as perceived health, with lower levels being preferred, but not too low. Instead of hiding under a face mask, you might want to sharpen up the face. And don't worry, I've got you covered with the 7 best tips to make it happen. But first, I want to quickly say that there's a ton of aesthetic benefits from getting a leaner face. The facial features hidden under the fat will show a lot more after leaning the face down, and you'll get more distinct cheekbones, a more prominent jawline, and the submental region of the neck will tighten up as well and thereby reduce the appearance of a double chin. The whole facial shape will change as well, from softer and rounder to a more defined and angular. And some people go so far to say that you don't even know how you look until you get to a low body fat percentage. But this video won't be fixated on what changes to be expected, since I've already made a video on that actually, but on actual applicable tips on how to get a leaner face. So let's jump straight into the steps. Number 1. Consume less salt and drink more water. I know this is kinda 2 tips in one, but hey, sue me. And since they are related to each other, I figured it's reasonable to lump these together. Not everyone knows this, but eating too much salt will actually cause your body to hang on to extra fluid. The sodium in salt pulls water into your blood vessels and enlarges them. This can cause your face to swell, and drinking water reduces the sodium levels in the body and thereby counters this effect. Also, when you are dehydrated, your body actually stores more water in the skin and face, making the face hold on to even more water and thereby increasing puffiness. So make sure to always stay hydrated and try to not overdo it with the salted foods to make sure that your face is free from any unnecessary puffiness and as lean as possible. Also, to counter the water retention, go for foods high in potassium, which is most fruits and vegetables, but especially bananas, potatoes, spinach and broccoli, as this helps the body to flush out water and sodium and thereby reducing the bloat. Step number 2 is something that we've covered a lot on this channel, which is mewing or correct tongue posture. This will immediately give your face a leaner look, especially from the side and from the 3/4 view of the face, since it lifts the submental region and hyoid bone up, giving you a sharper look with a more defined jaw. Make sure to make this a habit if you haven't already, and you will look much leaner. It's an immediate effect as well, and also the younger you are, the chances are that you will promote a more forward grown and thereby more lean looking face, since studies done on children show that mouth breathing, which is what mewing counteracts, leads to a convex facial profile or a melting face look. Number 3 is to choose the right hairstyle. You might think this sounds like some voodoo stuff and that the hair possibly can't make a difference in this regard, but let me tell you, it can actually make a big difference in how the face is perceived. That is because a hairstyle that's angular with shorter sides, such as these examples, will actually counter the roundness or softness of the face and therefore trick the eye into perceiving the face as sharper or more lean. A haircut like this also keeps some volume on the top, but please don't go Jimmy Neutron with it though. And this will also stretch out the face, counteracting some roundness and giving it a leaner look in that regard as well. Number 4 is to sleep better and add an extra pillow. So why does this help? Well, sleep allows the parasympathetic nervous system to drain excess fluids from the facial soft tissue back into the veins. When you don't get enough sleep, it creates a stress response that creates more swelling and more inflammation in the face. So why the extra pillow? Well, when you sleep, this fluid can pool in your face and especially under your eyes and cause excess face puffiness. And the fix can actually be to try to sleep with your head slightly elevated, according to dermatologist Dr. Campbell. It will help reduce any fluid retention and thereby help depuff your face. Number 5 is cold. This might be taking it too far for some people, but when I saw the morning routine of one of the leanest faces known to man, Jordan Barrett, I figured this gotta be something worthwhile. Basically, the thing is to apply something cold to the face. This works by constricting the blood vessels, which then leads to a reduction in swelling and puffiness and thereby tightens up the face. It's basically the same principle as with the old cold spoon trick, where you pop 2 metal spoons in the freezer and leave them for a few minutes and then put them on and around your eyes to banish dark circles, but for the whole face. There are multiple ways to do this. You can do like Jordan and just get a bucket with ice and apply it with a cloth to the face. You can also try one of these tools. I'm not really sure how they work, but hey, I mean, it looks good at least. And this is not for permanent results, but for an immediate decrease in puffiness. And also, please don't overdo this, as it can actually burn the skin. The next tip is to limit alcohol consumption. I know this isn't the most fun tip, but you know, when you drink, the dehydrating or diuretic effect of alcohol actually means that your skin loses fluids and nutrients that are vital for healthy looking skin, and this can make it look bloated and puffy, you know, because puffiness is largely caused by dehydration, like I said before, since it makes you store more water in the skin and in the face. And drinking water again can actually limit this kind of bloating as well, so it's best to drink water before, during and after drinking alcohol. But it is even better to limit the intake. Alcohol also gives you lower inhibitions as well as cravings, and you'll probably end up stuffing your face in a sodium-packed, fried, high-calorie meal, which is okay, but I'm just saying that doing this often is not exactly a fast track to a lean face. So drink moderately, I guess. Okay, let's move on to the last tip, which everyone probably already knows, but it's also the most important one, and that is to get to an adequately low body fat percentage. A good target to aim for is 9 to 14% for men and 14 to 20% for women. But everyone's different, and some people have leaner faces even with higher body fat percentages, and some people need to shred down to a fairly low body fat percentage to achieve the leaner face. I won't go into detail about fat loss, but there is a few things I feel I should be covering regarding this before ending the video, and that is that the only way to lose fat is through consuming less calories than what you expend. If you want to find out your caloric expenditure, you can use the calculator down below in the description. Tracking your calories can be a bit of a hassle, and it's nothing you have to do to lose weight and body fat, but it could be worth it since it's very common to underestimate how many calories one actually eats throughout the day. So tracking the calories makes it way easier to be in a deficit. And it can also be motivating, because you know what they say, what gets measured gets done. A great way to help with consuming fewer calories is intermittent fasting, which is basically where you postpone your first meal or meals to later in the day. And you can also use appetite suppressants such as coffee and nicotine pouches to help with the hunger, but your body usually gets used to fasting after a while. I also recommend working out during this fasted period, preferably right before breaking the fast, since some studies actually show that this accentuates fat loss. Another reason why intermittent fasting is such a great way to a leaner face intertwines with the first step, which is that your face will look leaner in the fasting state because of low sodium levels in the body. That was all for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Goodbye!